we have the lines like, but it does.
That's not here.
There we go.
Good music.
You guys getting music on there?
Yeah. This is just a bunch of noises. They can hear.
Ooh, Halloween. You gonna give us like a 10 count, Tommy?
Yeah, we'll do that for you. Yeah, no problem.
Rolling up to the rinse and getting an open 12-pack of PBRs.
Last week, whenever we were setting this up,
look at the Montana Grizzlies game against the visiting Montana Tech Diggers out of Butte, Montana. My name is Clayton. Weston, Tyler.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Happy Friday. It's Friday, right?
Yeah. It's Friday.
Happy Friday.
Good Friday. Good day to be here.
How are we doing today?
We're doing
amazing. We got hockey. We got hockey and football today.
That's
Can't
true.
complain.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
We're going to hit on that football game, that's for sure.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
So, let's get on with the hockey, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Griz coming off 2 straight wins versus Boise State. Last game, a 2-1 win over the Broncos at home on Saturday. I mean, scoreless first quarter. I'm gonna leave a little bit of suspense going on for how it ended. Boise State's Tyler Hansen, he scored the first goal in the second period. Less than a minute later, Matt Klein, one of our forwards, scored his first goal as a part of the Montana Griz, equalized the game, assisted by Ben Kramer. And then, were you guys at the game last Saturday?
I was, yeah.
I was not.
Well,
I missed a good one.
whether you're here or not, you probably heard about it.
Oh, I heard about it.
Our Lord and Savior, Javi Hamlin,
Yep.
a senior defenseman, scored the go-ahead goal with 2 seconds left in the third period. 2 seconds. That's as close to a buzzer beater in hockey as you're
Can't get
about
much closer.
to get.
Yep.
Yeah. And, watching that video, talk about the camera work, Someone.
I wouldn't know anything about the
Yeah.
camera work.
Camera work, production. It was great.
It was pretty fantastic. But the defense has really stepped up for Montana in the last 2 games against Boise State. Our Achilles heel as a team, to me, we've said it on the broadcast a couple times, is in the first 2 periods, Montana gets down, they get into a deficit, and then as well as they play in the third period, which they've played really well in some third periods this year, they just can't overcome the deficit that they've created for themselves in the first 2. So I think if Montana can continue to build on that tonight, they get a win, they'll be back to 500 for the first time since Game 3 this year, which would be fantastic. What do you guys think is going to be the key to the game for Montana to limit the scoring in the first 2 periods and maintain that offense that we've seen in the last 2 games, scoring 2 and 4 games respectively?
Yeah, personally watching that game, especially like first, second period, we weren't entering the zone with possession, Our forwards were just, sitting at the blue line. Defense were passing it up. They were tipping it, or they get pressured by the Boise D and just they dump and chase. Really was the story of those first 2 periods. And if you watch the last goal they scored, they entered the zone with possession and were able to make a play and get a goal. So I think in order to win here, you need to enter and maintain possession while entering the zone. Because for the first 2 periods last game, they were just dumping, chasing. They looked scared of contact. And, that final goal, being able to enter with possession, make a play, get a goal, I think that's going to be the key to winning today.
Couldn't agree more, yeah. They dig themselves into a hole, and they can't dig back out. But I think tonight, if they start off strong, put some pucks in the net early against the Diggers, I think it'll be smooth sailing.
Yeah, completely agree. I think what you said, the game against Utah comes back to me, where it was like the Griz were just getting out physicaled.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like
wasn't like 3 goals in the first period, 2 goals in the first period.
I'm not going to be the one to say that they came out and they quit in the first period. I just think that the Griz early in the season had a tendency to come out a little bit soft and a little bit lackadaisical. And I think in a sport like hockey, where you don't get those massive breaks like football, you have another play, you take a break, you stop. It matters. Like the momentum plays such a big factor in sports like hockey, where if you let that ball get rolling, if the snowball starts rolling down the hill, it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Momentum builds.
And that's the problem when you let up 3 goals in a first period. And we've seen them get away from that in the last couple of games, thankfully.
They just look like depleted and lackadaisical. Yep. Like if they let up 1 goal, it's like almost the world's over. But and then as soon as third period rolls around, they start getting their mojo back. So we just gotta have that through all 3 periods.
Yeah, it's coach speak, but resiliency I think is the big key for Montana.
Yeah, I felt like they were definitely. I mean, they beat Boise the first day of the weekend, and then it seemed like they were kind of just sitting back, expecting an easy win on Saturday, and it didn't come to them. So I think once Boise scored the goal, they realized, we've got to step it up, and then they scored the goal like a few seconds later, and it was a close game for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think that can be a disadvantage too in sports that play series games against the same team. Is where if you go up in game 1 and you get a solid win, not even a blowout, but you win and you score really well or you play defense really well, I think it's easy to rest on your laurels and kind of be like, like that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did really, really good. Like pat yourselves on the back a little bit, especially a team coming off a couple straight losses like Montana was. Getting back in the win column was probably such like a breath of fresh air that I think it's easy in the first period of the next game against the same team you just beat to kind of let your foot off the gas pedal a little bit. But Boise State's a good hockey team. Mm-hmm. They were a solid hockey team.
Yeah.
And they fought super hard the entire game. I mean, it took a goal with 2 seconds left for us to win that game.
Yeah.
If that goal is scored with 4 minutes left, who knows? They might come down the ice and score again. Who's to say? But we got a game against Montana Tech tonight, in-state rivalry, the Ore Diggers.
Yeah.
I think we're in for a good game. Montana Tech is coming into the season 5-4. They're coming off of they're actually coming off of a series win against Utah Valley. They won 8-1, 4-3 in overtime, 5-4, and 5-1 respectively in the last 4 games. And they have won every single game. They've scored 4+ goals this season. So, personally, when I see you've won every game, you've scored 4+, for us, it's going to come down to defense.
100%.
I think it's going to be a defensive game. They did have a loss to another school from Montana, the Bobcats.
Down south, yeah.
Yeah.
They lost 1-15. That's a bad game.
Yeah,
that's a bad
rough.
game.
That's rough.
Was that hockey? Football? What was?
I don't think you can score one in
Yeah.
football technically, but yeah, surprisingly it was a hockey game. So, I mean, I don't think it would be wise for the Griz to overlook a team like Montana Tech, even though they're a team that hasn't been what they were historically for the past 10 years. I think they're a team that can come out and they can fight super hard. Weston, you could probably talk a little bit about coming off of a win. Is it easy to overlook your next team when maybe historically you have an advantage over them?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. You know, we beat Boise both games last weekend. Montana Tech dropped 9-1 against Boise, lost that game, which is tough. But they only lost 3-4 the next game, which could have been Boise, you know, being lackadaisical the next game. But you just can't take your opponent for granted at any sport, any level. So I think if we come in, you know, expecting an easy win, we'll have we won't be well received.
Yeah, agree. Like if any team, if like underdog, anything, if you believe you can win, you can win. You just got to piece together. And I think
that we can win.
And I just think
That's a great chant. That's a great chant. Do you guys have a favorite chant? You were playing sports growing up?
start the buses.
Start the buses. Give us a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, when you win, you know, like for high school, like student sections, if you win any sport, it's like we usually
Away games.
Yeah, or home games because they take bases here.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And you just start the buses, you know.
I
And
can get behind that.
yeah,
I've never heard that one before.
I've never heard of that one either.
No.
I was just a big fan of the Quack.
Quack?
never heard,
From Mighty Ducks.
never heard that.
Oh, okay,
Mighty
okay,
Ducks.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an oversight.
There was
I had a lot of I had a lot of private schools in my division for high school, so there was a lot of daddy's money chants.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I heard those a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah.
There was I played rugby for a year, and
Did you really?
yeah, there was a native New Zealander on our team, so we were allowed to do the haka, and he taught us the haka, and
That is so
was
cool.
sick. Yeah,
That is so cool.
that was really cool. That was probably like the favorite chant I've ever done. That was sick.
It has to be. I see videos of like the All Blacks doing the haka, and I like tear up.
Yeah.
Because of I've never seen a chant that involves so much emotion in a sports team. It's like they're channeling their ancestors when they do the haka. It's absolutely beautiful.
Feels a little different as a skinny white boy doing it, but
Sure,
you know,
See that?
you know, you try your best.
Yeah.
You do. It's
Well,
beautiful
it's
and all comes
pretty
together.
cool. Do you remember the guy's name that was the New Zealander on your team?
Michael.
Michael?
Michael.
It's an awesome Islander name. Shout out to Michael.
Yeah.
I love the haka. Oh, the haka gets me going.
What about
Everybody
you?
that went to high school with me knows that I love the haka. We don't have to get further into that. But
Oh?
no, I had a high school football coach, our offensive line coach in high school. He before every game we'd get together, we'd get in a circle and we'd do this whole chant. It was like a minute long, and it was like I believe, and he would say something,
yeah.
we'd say something. And it was like a minute long, kind of like a pregame prayer, and that got all of us so fired up. I remember there was one year that he was not one of the coaches on our team, and it sucked. It sucked. The other coach came in, he kind of tried to do it, and it wasn't the same. So shout out to Tyler Staley. I appreciate you. Miss you. He's in my fantasy football league, actually.
Oh.
I'm playing him this week. He's going to lose. So shout out to Tyler. All right. The Diggers, the Ore Diggers, Charlie Ore Digger is the origin of their mascot name. I believe that's because Butte is. I didn't know this until I actually looked into this pregame, but it's a huge mining town.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what? Because I actually don't know. Do we know what their big their exports were, or the rocks? That
I know. I did a story for the Kaimin that involved some research around Butte, and it was copper, gold, mainly copper and gold, I think, some silver.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I mean, they don't call it Beat America for no reason. So
Yeah. Copper, zinc,
Silver and gold.
yeah.
Silver and gold. Yeah, that's a great movie.
And then they absolutely like destroyed the ecosystem around there though for a while, but they've recently like been trying to clean it up.
Yeah, well, there you go. Operations that made Butte known as the richest hill on Earth. Copper, zinc, silver.
Yeah.
Starting as a gold and silver camp in the 1860s. Wow, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Have a knockoff M too.
They do have a knockoff M. That's
Yeah.
worth mentioning. It's not nearly as cool as
It
our
is
M.
not.
It's not even close to as cool as
It's
our
like
M.
it's not even a hill. It's like a mound.
They don't have 13 switchbacks.
Yeah.
They don't have 13 switchbacks.
I'll take your word for that, Tyler, because I actually don't know how many switchbacks we have. Oh, Michael Myers in the crowd. That's creepy. Yeah, their M, it is kind of an anthill.
It's a lowercase M.
It's a lowercase m.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even Times New Roman. Like, they have a bad font on their M. But like we said, they're coming in with a 5-4 record. They're not. We're disrespecting them a little bit.
We are.
They're coming off 4 straight wins. They played Utah Valley. Maybe Utah Valley's not the best hockey team in the country, but I mean, 4 straight wins against any school, you kind of have to take that into account.
Yeah.
And Montana's had their ups and downs this year. We're coming off of 2 straight wins against Boise State, but I mean, anything can happen. I think we're going to rely a lot on Aton, and I think we're going to rely a lot on Toila this game. I think those are going to be our guys. I would love to see another Javi Hamlin goal. That would be fantastic. Ideally,
be awesome.
in the last 5 seconds.
yeah.
That would be great.
Back to
I think-
back.
I don't want to ask for too much, but another goal would be fantastic. So, I think we got, another hour and a half until the football game kicks off?
I think so.
Have a little chat about Sacramento State versus the Griz?
The Montana Pandas.
Yeah.
Sac State.
That was unbelievable. So for anyone unfamiliar, president of Sacramento State, Luke Wood, last week, I think it was right after their game on Saturday, he called out Montana, and he called us the Montana Pandas. He said we're a JV team who hasn't really played anybody. It's kind of an interesting move, calling out an undefeated 7-0 football team, going like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd want to poke that bear,
No.
whether it's a panda or a grizzly. I don't know if I'm going to poke that bear. Kind of wild. Coach Houck came back. He said, "Guy's kind of a clown, huh? We'll deal with that as need be on Friday night." And if I was their president, I'd be a little more worried about the riot that happened in their stadium after that game, after the game, than clowning Montana.
There's a riot in their stadium.
Riot might have been a little bit of a hyperbole.
Just storming the field.
No, there was a bit of a brawl in the stands.
Oh?
It was like I would equate it to like a line brawl in a hockey game.
Okay.
There was a double-digit number of individuals
Okay.
that were putting paws on each other a little bit.
Okay.
But
Big old bear paws.
I think we can all relate going into a game. Granted, whether it's high school, pee-wee, whatever level, we've all gotten talked a little crap. It happens. It happens. The other team gets a little mouthy. Whether it's usually not the president of a university or the head coach of another team, but would that light a fire under you guys?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I think you have to shut him up, like prove him that he's wrong in every aspect, and it feeds fuel to the fire.
There's definitely an aspect where, like, you lost to a team that we beat, you know?
Right.
So, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And might not take it as seriously, or, like, not the game, of course, but, like, his insult to us. But definitely, you'll hear about it afterwards.
Yeah. Also, like the Montana Pandas is like
That's wild.
it's not that funny.
It wasn't funny at all.
It's okay, and he was a bad actor. He was like, they're the Grizzlies, right? It's like, dude, it's not funny. It wasn't funny. It was a nice attempt, I guess, at talking a bad game, but you're talking about a team that has 5 games scoring 40 plus. You're talking about a quarterback in Keali'i Ayat that went 27 for 33 with 5 touchdowns and no picks last week against Sacred Heart. Michael Wortham had 7 catches for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, offensively, I don't think they stand a chance. I think they've got a snowball's chance in hell at stopping our offense, especially Eli Gilman. He strikes me as a guy that you get under his skin a little bit, he's going to put his helmet under your helmet, and he's going to run you over. I think it's a wild strategy. The only common opponent we have, like you mentioned earlier, was Cal Poly. They lost to Cal Poly by a score. We beat Cal Poly by multiple scores. I know football math is kind of it's whatever. But
Yeah.
it's relevant that they lost at home to Cal Poly. We hosted Cal Poly. The first half wasn't pretty. The second half was beautiful, and we smoked them.
Take care of business.
If you really want to talk about like who's the JV team here, we're 7-0. You're 4-3. I don't understand. I don't understand the jibber jabber. I think
either.
let your play
Yeah.
talk for you. I think Coach Hawk said it best. We're gonna let our play on Friday night handle it for us.
Yeah. Then again, I mean, we could be eating our words the next show we have. Hopefully not, but we could be.
I will not eat my words. I will not apologize. Personally, I'll not talk about football
Okay.
because I think we owe them the same amount of respect. But you're right. Football's a weird game, and also Montana had to travel to Sacramento. I mean,
Yeah.
it's only an hour time difference, but it's a night game.
And just being
So,
in
like,
California.
Yeah, being in California, ugh. Who can imagine that? I can't even stomach the idea of it personally. But yeah, I think. Do we want to throw out a little score prediction for the football game? We have an hour and a half until they get active over there.
Okay. I'd be down for that. Why don't you start us off, though?
I can lead. I think it's going to be 43-3. 43-3 is my score prediction.
I'm going to say 35 to like 27.
Okay.
I was just saying 37-10.
Okay. Not that we're a betting show, but Vegas does have Montana only favored by 6.5. I think that's the lowest number Montana's been favored by going into a game this
Take the
year.
over. Take the over.
Well, I think the over was like 60-something, so that's a lot. But the fact that, I mean, they're giving Sacramento State some credit. They had a good loss against Nevada. They lost by 3 against Nevada, but I don't know that the Wolfpack have been a good FBS team in the last 10 years.
Since Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick, fantastic college quarterback, go 49ers. But, yeah, since then, they've been kind of a nothing burger. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think Montana's going to absolutely roll all over Sacramento State. But there's only one way to find out. We'll know tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Talking about winners, our women's soccer team made history yesterday with their 1-0 win over Portland State. They claimed their 3rd regular season Big Sky championship. 3 in a row, back to back to back. That's the first program in Big Sky Conference history to win 3 straight regular season Big Sky Conference championships.
Love it.
Round of applause for those girls. They've played their butts off all year. 11-3-3 overall. They're 9-1-1 at home and 5-1-2 in conference play. Their next game is going to be on the 7th. They are going to be automatically, I believe, in the semifinal game. So we're looking at November 7th, 2 p.m. in Missoula, Montana. They're going to be trying to advance to their first tournament championship match since 2021. Which brings up kind of an interesting idea. Being a 3-time back-to-back regular season champ, but failing to reach the final since 2021 has to leave kind of a sour taste in their mouth.
Yeah.
I know you guys can probably relate to this as athletes. Winning in the regular season is fantastic. It feels great. Every win is euphoric. Every loss is awful.
But it's not playoffs. Playoffs is a whole different story, whole different breed. You can afford to lose some games. Obviously, you don't want to, but playoffs, one loss in certain sports, one loss and it's sour taste in your mouth for the rest of the season. You know, you're going home on a terrible note. So you want to obviously put your heart out on field, court, wherever it is, and get to the championship. And if you come up short, you had a successful, very fantastic regular season going into you have high hopes, but it could be crushing if you go out early in the playoffs and don't meet expectations.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they've won it, 3 times, the championship, right? Yeah. This is their 3rd time. 3rd time's the charm, This time we'll get them. 3rd time's the charm. And, for me personally, in Washington, playing hockey, there wasn't enough teams to have a playoff. So you were just automatically in the championship. And then one year, the other team just didn't show up because they went to another tournament up in Canada. And so we just went to regionals and got beat really bad. And that was it. So.
I can relate. For basketball, we lost first year, lost first round as a 2 seed. Next year came back 1 state. So it does feel a fire underneath you, but the taste doesn't go away until you get to that championship and you have the winning taste in your mouth.
Yeah, that's the hard thing about having a great season and making it to playoffs is if you can be undefeated through the regular season. You get to the playoffs, the season starts anew. If you lose one game, all of a sudden you have 6+ months to live with that like metal taste in your mouth of being like, oh man, like we were so good, and also knowing that you could and you didn't. I think that's the worst feeling in sports is when you go into a game with a resume against another team that maybe doesn't have the resume you do and you lose. There's always going to be that thought in the back of your mind of, oh, what if this, what if that? It's one thing to get outclassed. It's one thing to lose, 20-1. That's one thing. But when you lose 1-0, 2-1, it's an entirely different story, and it hurts so much more. So I'm really pulling for Griz soccer this year. I think West and I agree with you. I think this is the year. Third time's the charm. I think they get it done this year.
Yeah.
Big Sky champions.
It's football, basketball, soccer, all. Or not basketball, volleyball are all.
Well, basketball last year, yes.
Yeah. Basketball last year's good. Lost to Wisconsin, Badgers. On the basketball note, we do have a preseason game against Denver University, DU.
Oh, really?
Yep, at noon, I believe.
What day is this?
Sunday.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, so that'll be a good game. Manager, by the way. So
Are you really?
I am team manager.
There we go.
So you'll see me on the sideline.
Maybe on
Yeah.
the court?
Shout out Montana Griz basketball. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they were probably the kind of star of Montana athletics last year.
I mean, we lost a lot of our minutes. We lost Brandon Whitney. We lost starting point guard. I mean, we got Jonte Sawyer and Money Williams back, which will help us a lot. But we got some incoming freshmen that should help us, and it should be a good year. It'll be a good year.
Yeah, and fortunately for them, that's it's a thing with all of college basketball where there's this frantic turnover. All of these guys, they play 1 year, and then all of a sudden they're going to the league.
NIL, and too, is a big part of that.
Huge thing. Montana's not going to be able to compete with the Kentuckys and the Vanderbilts, and even probably the Montana States of the world. It's just not realistic. So I think if they can build off of that fantastic season they had last year, I mean, making the NCAA tournament, making it to March Madness is pretty unbelievable.
I was at that game. It was a good game. I mean, just to see them make the big tournament was awesome.
Yeah.
And see them in person was awesome. But yeah, I mean, you can't keep up with the Big Ten Wisconsin Badgers,
No, they're on a different level, and you know what? You do your best, and you got to be pretty happy with it. Last team we're going to hit on before we send it over to a break is Griz volleyball, 13-6. Doing pretty darn good, riding 2 wins over Portland State and Idaho State respectively in the last 4 days. They're tomorrow at 2 o'clock at home. They are going to be playing. I actually don't know who they're playing. You can watch the game on ESPN Plus if you are not here on campus. So they're on a pretty good trajectory for a conference title, I believe, too. I think they have the second best record in the Big Sky Conference regular season volleyball. So shout out to Griz volleyball, Griz soccer, Griz football. We're doing pretty darn good up in Montana.
Griz, the athletics themselves are on a high note.
Go Griz. All right, well, we're going to take a very, very quick intermission. When we come back to you, we're going to talk about our game predictions. We're going to get into our final thoughts about the game against the Diggers tonight. My ears get so hot.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Griz Nation, welcome back
Yeah.
to the College Game Day Hockey pregame show presented by the Montana Kaimin and 102.9 ESPN Montana.
Yeah, you may have noticed we're one person short.
Yeah, it is. It's Halloween. It's getting a little spooky.
Yeah?
I don't know. Can we say what happened to him?
I don't think so.
That might be an off-air discussion.
Yeah, it was gruesome. We'll say that.
Yeah. If you're a friend or family of Tyler, don't worry about it. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
But he won't be joining us for the rest of the broadcast. So, like we've said, in case you guys are new, we are playing the Montana Tech Ore Diggers tonight. And Montana Tech, 5-4 overall, pretty comparable record to our Montana Grizzlies at 4-5. It would be great if Montana can get back to a 500 record for the first time in the year since week 3. We've talked about a lot. We had pretty great last 2 games against Boise State. We had a relatively dominant, but like on the scoreboard it looked close first game, and then we had a 2 seconds left game winner by Javi Hamlin. So riding a little bit of a high. That can be dangerous in sports.
It can be.
I think a lot of the time you get across by the hair of your chin, and it's kind of like, how much time do you spend celebrating that win, and how much time do you spend getting ready for the next game? I think that's a big struggle for a lot of teams. So I think similarly to what we've been looking for all year is Montana's got to come out of the gate. They have to be ready, especially defensively, for this team to come out and surprise us a little bit. Because this is probably a game that we should win. We said, what did we say? Montana Tech was 0-2 versus Boise State.
Yeah, 0-2.
Had a close game, their second game of the series. They lost by 1 goal. So
lost 9-1 the first game though.
I know, it's tough.
Yeah.
15-1 against Montana State. Montana State's a good hockey team, so no shade. But yeah, it's impressive to come back. You lose 9-1. The next day you come back and you lose 4-3. I mean, a loss is a loss. That's never good, but relatively impressive. I think.
The thing is that a Boise State thing, or is that a Montana Tech thing? Or is it a combination of both?
That's a great point. And it's hard to know because, I mean, we've played Boise State, but every team plays every team differently, especially in hockey with how different lines mesh with each other.
Yeah.
It's just hard to say. Sometimes you get lucky in hockey and your third line just happens to be better than the other teams, and it's like the puck drops your way. So it's hard to say. I think we're in for a maybe surprisingly competitive game as to what the Griz are expecting.
Yeah.
We've got no insight to what they're expecting, but I'd have to assume that the vibes are pretty solid in the locker room right now. But this is not a throwaway game. This is not a look to next week game because they go back. They're going to play Utah in Salt Lake less than a week from now. So it's one of those games where like I could see them looking at the calendar. You've got 6 days until you get to play Utah again. Utah left a pretty bad taste in our mouths after our last series with them. So when you were playing Weston, did you feel yourself fighting that urge to like look ahead in the schedule at all ever?
Yeah, sometimes. I will admit, half the time, had no idea who we were playing till like the day before.
Fair enough.
You know, at that time there was something like, deal with it when we come to it. In tournaments, you know, if you recognize the team, you definitely be tracking them throughout the game. There was a few rivals like Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City was a good team. Few Canadian teams that we just hated. But yeah, there's a couple teams that just stick out to you, and you just track them a little bit. But I think outside the tournament setting, it can be a little hard, and you know sometimes you just don't know who you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as a sports fan in general, I can relate to that, and I think as Montana students, I think. At least I know I have been. I've been looking at that Montana State game, the Brawl of the Wild, in November as like, if we get to there and we're healthy and we're in a good spot, then we're fine. And then we just play that game, we win that game, and everything's going to be cool. And even past that, it's like, does anything really matter if we beat Montana State? You know, and that's kind of the nature of a rivalry like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's easy for teams, especially after you get whomped at home. You know, you get to go to their house and you get a chance at rebuttal. It's very easy to throw away the game that's right in front of you, especially when you're playing a team like Montana Tech, who in the last 10 years has not been impressive.
Yeah.
They've been solid but not impressive. They have an okay record coming into this game. So I think it's really important in sports in general, but especially in hockey, to just put one foot in front of the other and not take advantage of an opponent that you think might be lesser than you.
Yeah. And as Tucker was telling us, the manager for the Griz hockey team, it's actually a very interesting story how, like,
It is.
they were really good for a while.
Yeah.
And it was their, what was it? Petroleum engineering?
Petroleum enrichment or petroleum engineering major at Montana Tech? Yeah.
It was huge, and they'd get all these people from Canadians from Alberta coming down, because Edmonton, Calgary, those universities there, they didn't have any like petroleum enrichment engineering programs.
Yeah.
But then once they got those programs, all the Canadians stopped coming down, and they really had to like recruit, and they like for the first time in their history had to recruit and like search for hockey players.
Right. I likened it to like reverse poaching almost, where you see this huge population of animals in one place, and there's going to be these guys that go out, and they're looking for that head on the mantle, and they're going to go to that spot. If the animals leave that area and they go somewhere else, the hunters are just going to follow.
Yeah.
So the only incentive for a lot of guys that were coming down here, the hockey brainiacs, the few of them that there are, they were coming down to Montana Tech to learn about, what was it, uranium? Is that what we were talking
Petroleum?
about? Petroleum enrichment,
Yeah.
exactly. And once they had majors in Canada, it was like open season. They were gone. Nobody cared anymore. Why come down to Montana? Why move, across country lines when you could stay home? You'd be closer to your family, and you can study the same thing, get the same degree.
Yeah.
So it's super interesting that happened. Because according to Tucker, they were a powerhouse in men's Division II hockey. And now in the last 10 years, since Canada has picked up on with their schooling, it's not been the same, and there's been no competition for it. So let's talk a little bit. Let's make our game predictions. I think it's time. I think we're ready for it.
Okay.
You want to lead?
Sure, I can lead. I'm gonna say 4-2, 5-2, 5-2 Griz win.
Okay,
5-2. Yeah.
I like it. Do you have a particular goal? I know this is on the spot, but do you have a goal scorer in mind?
I mean, you can't beat Gralnick.
I know.
You can't.
He's nasty.
You can't beat him.
He's nasty.
Speaking of nasty, shout out Piz Nasty.
Piz Nasty.
Maybe we'll see him on the scoreboard.
I would like to see that.
I would love a Piz Nasty goal.
A Piz Nasty goal would really, it would just make my heart grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5-2. I like it. For once, I'm going to go the conservative route. I am going to say that Montana wins this game by playing solid defense, crashing the boards. I'm going to say 2-3. I think it's a less competitive 2-3 than 2-3 sounds, though. I think it's going to be 3-1 going into the third, and then, Montana Tech is going to score their second goal maybe in the last 15 minutes of the third period. It'll look closer on paper than it actually is, but I'm expecting our goalies to continue playing extremely well, and I'm expecting our offense to keep the ball rolling of what they've done the last two games.
And I think that's really the story of the night. As you mentioned, Montana Tech, high-scoring team, right? High-scoring team. And then our defense has been, I'm not going to say atrocious, but a little disappointing, I'd say, the past few games.
I agree.
So I think that's the matchup of the night. Look to our defense, look to their offense, and just staying out of the box, I think his name is Soren. Defenseman number 5. He's been in the box quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not all of them were him. Some were just he was selected to serve the penalty. Sure. But you got to stay out of the box, and especially on D, a defenseman in the box hurts the lineup a lot more than a forward in the box.
Absolutely.
It hurts the rotation more. Not as many people on the bench, but so just stay out of the box and just. Hopefully the defense can hold it together tonight.
Yeah, especially stay out of the box, especially when you're playing a team that has won every single game where they've scored 4+ goals. This Montana Tech team has only lost games where they have scored under 4 goals. So I think, clearly if you let their offense get going, it's going to be problematic.
Yeah.
They've been a rocky defense. They had a game where they let up 15. They've had a game where they let up 9. So it's like that might be hit or miss, but if their offense is firing – the Griz are going to be in trouble. So I think if we can keep the energy that we had for these last 2 Boise State games where we are hard-nosed and we crash the boards in the first 2 periods, I think again, the game is going to be won in the first 30 minutes. That's my opinion. I think not letting them get out to a lead, not letting them crack anything open, I think that's where the win lies for us.
For sure. And definitely just maintaining the pressure on offense, not losing possession, getting it deep, but also entering the zone with possession.
That was a major improvement that we saw over the last 2 games was the passing of the Griz offense. Because like the game against Weber State and Utah, the passing was so not there. It just is like the chemistry seemed off. And you talked about that a lot in the last couple weeks, about the chemistry of a hockey team being as important as probably any sport. So to me, it seems like the last 2 games that we've played, the chemistry's been way on point. I don't know if something changed in the locker room. I don't know if there was a line change, but whatever they're doing, keep doing it. I think that's going to be a key to victory.
Yeah, it could just be time too. Longer you go throughout the season, the more you get to know people, team building activities. But yeah, and hopefully it'll continue to grow throughout the rest of the season too.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, the season is. I don't know if it's young. I wouldn't say it's old. I think we're kind of middle-aged in this season. But I think it's going to be, if there's ever a time to stack up wins upon each other, it's absolutely right now. And it's a game that we should win, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be an easy game, but I think it's a game we should win. And I think the good teams in college sports, they win the games they should win. And that's kind of like the crux of it. If you're losing games that you should be winning, you will not be a good college team. I don't care if it's football, basketball, hockey. I don't care what it is. Those are the games that you have to win, or the ones that you should win.
Yeah, and that's the dangerous part. I think you mentioned, we're in the middle age of the season.
Yeah.
And we have to avoid having a midlife crisis,
Absolutely.
So we've been through a good decent of the season. You're tired. It's a hard sport. It's a physical sport. Absolutely. And then you look onto the schedule, and you've got so much more of the season to go.
Yeah.
And it's like you're right in the middle. There's no break coming soon.
No.
And that can be defeating for the mental game too.
Yeah, we're in the thick of it. There's going to be travel involved for, basically the bulk of the rest of the season. We've had the fortune of having quite a few home games early in the year. So things like travel and playing tougher competition, that's going to weigh on them. So I think the more games that you can win, it'll give us, I don't want to say a cushion, because there's never really a cushion, especially in college hockey. But tonight's an important game. It might not seem like it. That's an incredible costume. By the way, it is Halloween night at the Glacier Ice Rink. That's incredible. What would you describe that? Is that the Jack Link Sasquatch?
Yeah, Sam Squinch.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We've got Michael Myers. We've got, what was it? The left shark from, Katy
Perry.
Yeah, Katy Perry. Halftime show,
yes.
left shark.
Yes, you're right. That's exactly what that was. Yeah, we've seen some good ones tonight.
Yeah. There's also Headless Horseman, minus the horse. Headless Man.
I missed that one, and it sounds electric.
Yeah. It was good.
We might have the Buc-ee's Beaver rolling up right now. Have you been to Buc-ee's?
I have not been. I think that's a reindeer.
All right, it's a reindeer.
It's Rudolph.
I do love we'll say that. That's definitely Rudolph. I love Buc-ee's, though.
I have not been to a Buc-ee's.
That tells you all you need to know. Yeah. God, I love Buc-ee's, dude. If you ever get the chance, go immediately. If you're ever in Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia, go to Buc-ee's.
Okay, noted.
Fantastic. Get a brisket sandwich, get some beaver nuggets. It's unbelievable.
Oh, is it actual beaver or? No. Okay.
No, it's like puffed corn.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. I don't think they can do that.
That's true.
Weston, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Griz Nation, stay tuned on the ESPN Montana app if you're listening to radio, or switch over to the ESPN Plus app, 102.9 FM, ESPN Montana. We're going to send it over to our play-by-play caller, Jeff Safford, for the remainder of the game. Thank you guys so much for listening. My name is Clayton.
My name is Weston.
Thank you, guys.